Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back. So it's been a couple days. We had like Mother's Day stuff going on all weekend and didn't really work on anything or record anything. So of course today is now Monday as I'm working on this and my head is racing and there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Stuff I want to work on, stuff I don't have time for, blah 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 blah. So today it's kind of late already, so we're going to do something a little easy, simple. We're going to install the boost controller. So I got one of these, this style boost controller. Just has the in and the out. There's a little check ball inside here. And hopefully this will work for what I need. I wasn't really liking the other boost controller that I had because I would like go 2 clicks on it and it would go from 6 to 8 pounds. Another 2 clicks, it would go to 10 pounds. And then I would go like 10 more clicks and it would stay at 10 or 11 pounds. So it wasn't really doing what I needed it to do. Even though I hooked it up a couple different ways. So I'm going to try this one. This one seems like people like it and it works pretty well, so we're going to install it today. And we're going to try to install it in a decent way where it's mounted securely and not going to move around at all. So I did have it hooked up before when I was driving around today. I didn't even get into boost, so it didn't really matter because I was just working out the initial tune after changing the pumps and the fuel pressure and all that junk. I didn't really like how it was mounted. It was kind of flopping around. So we're going to work on finding a secure place to mount this thing just because. I had the thing kind of mounted just off of here and it was hanging down and I didn't really like it because this thing actually turns pretty easy. Like I have it cranked all the way down now. But if you go out a few turns on this, it turns pretty easy. So I was thinking about a way to like, I wanted to just tape around it once I found the spot I needed to tape around it so it would not turn. So I think what I'm gonna do is, I know I have these things in the toolbox here, these little like wire clip mount things. So I think if this is the right size, this thing should actually go right around this. And it might even hold it pretty securely. So yeah, it holds it pretty tight. So what I want to do is maybe use one of these bolts up here. That'd be kind of cool. And it'd be a little bit easy to access. It looks like it's kind of high though. I think I'd be worried about it being kind of high up here and like hitting the hood and then little vibration. If the hood is like rubbing on it, I wouldn't want the vibration like changing the boost level. What do we can do down here? Let's try that. Right on the fuel rail bolt. Now look at that. It even fits. Alright, cool. It's a good start, I guess. And then my other one was just kind of flopping around too, so this will be kind of cool if this actually works. So let's see this. Can you guys see that? So there it is on the rail, and it's pretty secure. Kind of moves around a little bit. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's pretty tight, but it slides. So I wonder if I could, like, say you tightened it down to where you wanted it, and then push it up against that, because it's not going to turn here. If this is pushed all the way back, maybe this rubber will kind of secure it a little bit so it won't turn as easy. I don't know, something like that. Maybe still need to tape around it or do something, but this should work pretty well. What do you guys think? Alright, so what I think I'm going to do now is I'm just going to run it right off of this little port here, and I'll try to get the right length. So that should be okay. a little bit of slack. I'm gonna use a wire cutter to cut rubber. Holy crap, freak out. Freak out. Get really mad. Use some saliva. I don't know, guys, that's like the universal slide it on and stick it in lubricant. Oh, this is like harder than I thought. I can't see. So that should be okay. I'm gonna tweak this thing a little bit so it's kind of mounted away from that fuel rail clip. This is actually the line, the hose that was supplied with the controller. Alright, so that is there. Kind of wobbly. So then the other one's gonna go right on the wastegate here. It's gonna go right on the bottom of the wastegate. Let's try that. Alright, that actually seems like it works pretty decent. A little loose. A little loose in there, a little more loose than I thought it was going to be, but I wonder if I can reposition it. That actually looks kind of cool. So just like that, this one's kind of loose, nice and loose around there. This one's here, kind of touches this a little bit. I could mount it a little bit more securely that way. So this actually spins freely, I can adjust it. And it's mounted, it's not going anywhere. I don't really have any interference with any of the lines here. So that'll alleviate a lot of my stress for these lines breaking and then overboosting, because I did see that once, because I did it on purpose and broke the engine. So, alright, so that seems pretty cool. Alright, so I did a few more things. I just took another one of these, because I had a few of these in the drawer. I took the rubber off of one of them, and then wrapped it around there. So now this thing is like super tight. This is not gonna move at all. And what's really cool about it is when this thing is cranked all the way tight, all the way down, it's tight against the rubber, so the thing doesn't move. So if, it's probably not gonna happen, but if that could be my sweet spot, like where I want this thing set, all the way against the rubber tight, I know it's not gonna move or adjust itself at all. But either way, now that I know it's not going to vibrate or rub on anything, it should be pretty good. So what I also did was I took a piece of 3/8, I think this is just 3/8 fuel line. Yeah, it's just a regular 3/8 fuel line, and wrapped it around that vacuum line that goes to the wastegate. So if it rubs on here or anything, this is nice and loose, not touching anything. And then this one was rubbing a little bit here, but I just added this on there just for a little extra protection. So I feel pretty good about that. Now I'm not really too concerned about the over boosting situation from this thing potentially breaking, because I had it before. I had it just kind of looped down through here, and it was ran through down here and then over to here, and this stuff's all kind of hot, and it was touching a bunch of crap. So now it's not touching anything, it's protected. Here it's not touching. So I have this thing came with 3 different spring tensions. I have the squishy, the soft spring in there, the lowest one out of all of them. So I don't know where that one's gonna get me. With this just connected directly, It's right at 6 pounds. So this is just going to increase pressure from 6 pounds. So hopefully this thing will get me to about 13 or 14, and we can call it good with this spring. So yeah, guys, that's about it for this one. Today was just kind of I was definitely having an off day today. So I just couldn't decide what I wanted to do. Got out of work, came home, drove the truck around a little bit, and started to do the beginning portions of the tune, because the fuel pressure and everything was all different, and kind of had to start from scratch. So I went back to the file that I had before, changed the fuel a little bit, drove it around, probably just like normal, like 30 to 40 miles an hour, up and down, stopping and doing whatever. Got that thing kind of dialed in, and then the wife calls and asked me to come home because she wanted to go pick the kids up from school, and the baby was sleeping still. So came home, and she went to go pick the kids up, and then like an hour later she finally came home, and I went to go to the junkyard. I wanted to go to the junkyard today, and there's a few things I wanted to look at. So I want to look at upgrading the rear axle. So it has the Ford 8.8 28 spline axle. There's some kind of confusion on that, and it's not the 7.5, it's the 8.8, and it's the 28 spline 8.8, because the 28 spline 8.8s came on the 4.0 V6 Rangers, and that's what this had. It has the 8.8 confirmed by the door card, and 28 spline. So I'm looking at upgrading the axle basically. I don't know if I want to go to the Explorer rear end or something like that. So I want to go to the junkyard and see what's there, see what kind of prices they have. They have the 31 spline 8.8 in the FX4 Rangers, like 2002, 2003 FX4 Rangers have the 31 spline 8.8 rear end. That would just bolt right into this thing and have the 31 spline like the Explorer. So it just wouldn't have the disc brakes unless it was like a 2011 or something weird like that. So looking at doing that, I wanted to go there, look at that, and look at like flex fuel rail. I know where there's one there, and I have it hidden because I've been watching it for like 6 months. I just haven't bought it yet. I started driving and made it like 2 blocks from the house, almost to the highway, and then I turned around and came home. I'm like, I don't have time. It was like already 4 o'clock. They close at 5, and usually they start blasting like this air horn at like 4:30 because they want people out. So I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna come home, work on the truck, drive it around, tune it a little bit more. So I was working on the tune and started realizing that every time I would come to a stop sign, it would run really lean. It was really weird. It would run really lean and like wanted to die almost, but it wouldn't die. And I was still at a quarter tank of gas, and I realized that it's just gas sloshing around in the tank. So when I would come to a stop, it would push all the fuel to the front of the tank, wasn't picking up fuel, and it would run lean. So I tested it by just stopping, sitting at a stop sign for a while, and once I sat for like a few seconds, it would run right back to like a 14.4. So I knew it was fine. It was just running out of fuel because I was stopping. So I went to go get gas, but the closest place that sells 93 around here is like 10 miles away, and I had to go like on the highway and do all kinds of shenanigans. And this little bitch is getting kind of warm. So it was running really great once it's like 30, 40 degrees outside, but now that it's starting to warm up and it's like 70, 80-ish, it's running kind of warm. So then I was kind of thinking like, how am I gonna keep this thing cool? So I went to go get gas, and it was running like 210, 220, 230, getting pretty freaking warm. Filled it up with gas at like it was like running at like 225 when I stopped for gas. So filled up the tank, ran to go get on the highway, but it was really busy at that time because it was like 5 o'clock, I think, and I'm like stuck in traffic, got stop and go lights, it's starting to warm up more. So it was like 2:45 by the time I got on the highway, and it wasn't really tuned very well yet. So while I'm like accelerating, getting onto the highway, it's running like a 15.7, 15.5 at 245 degrees. I'm like, man, I'm gonna fucking blow this thing up. This is not good. So kind of kind of eased it onto the highway, because if I was accelerating like I would normally accelerate to get on the highway, it was running like a 15.7. If I would lift a little bit, it was like 14.7, 14.8. So I just kind of gradually got it on the highway until it started to cool down. And then I was using the real-time tuning and adjusting everything and got it like dialed in pretty well while I was driving on the highway. So it was pretty good. And that's all saved now and stuff, so should be in a better spot tomorrow. But it was just like kind of a crappy day. Like I wasn't very happy, and I was gonna record and stuff today, but when I got home from work, the GoPro was dead and my charger was broke, and it's like a big conspiracy because all of my chargers are broken for my GoPro. So I don't know what's going on with that, but tried to charge the thing and whatever. So today just really didn't work out. It wasn't really the greatest day. So. And then I came home and like, okay, what can I do today? So then I was like gonna do the drive shaft safety loops. Drive shaft safety loops. I even got these things out, and they're like a half an inch to an inch short between the frame rails. So I'm gonna have to use some just some flat stock, and I'm gonna extend the center of this thing, but was going to start working on that, and that just didn't work out. So it's just like I got a lot of stuff that I want to do and not a lot of time to do it. I had some time, but I was really indecisive today on what I wanted to do. So it happens. It was just one of those days. Tomorrow should be a little bit better. Big thing is the cooling that I'm concerned about. So I ordered 2 more fans. So I don't have the room. I was going to do the Taurus fans because those are like really common. I don't have enough room for the Taurus fans because they're like 5 inches deep. So I'm glad I didn't go buy them because they wouldn't fit on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 pusher fans right in the front here. One like 9-inch fan on this side, one 9-inch fan on this side. And I'm also going to work on removing the AC condenser. I wasn't going to do it today, but I have to pull the grill off, the intercooler out, and do all this stuff. And I just didn't do it today. So I'm going to try the 9-inch fans on the front as pusher fans with the puller fan on the back side. See what that does. If that doesn't work, then I'll pull the condenser out. If that still doesn't work, then there's always golf. You know, I can start golfing. So that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Kind of a boring video today, but hopefully that boost controller will get me where I need to be at like the 14 pounds that I'm looking for. So I want to get to like 13, 14 PSI and run like 14 degrees of timing by Friday. So it's Monday now. That's the goal. Hoping to stomp on it on Friday when we go there. So I'm going to get the safety loops and stuff in. So we're going to go a little bit faster on Friday. I promise you that, unless something serious happens. But thanks for watching. Have a good one. Like the video, subscribe, tell your friends, whatever you gotta do.